Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, we're gonna talk about YouTube. So one of the most common questions that I get whenever I open up a Q&A or whenever I ask for video ideas or video recommendations is how to film a YouTube video, what equipment do you use, what's your advice for new YouTube channels, and the list goes on. And while I am so absolutely honored and flattered, frankly, that you are asking me these questions and that you trust my advice, I'm definitely not the expert. There are, and I'm gonna give you recommendations as we go through this list, there are so many other options. I almost said better options, but they truly are better options to give you guidance and advice on this topic. Yes, I have learned a lot over the past 15 months that I've been here on YouTube, and I've created a lot of videos. I don't even know, 150. I remember when I hit my 100th video, but I haven't checked in a long time. I don't know what video count we're at now, but I've created a lot. I do know that. And so I do have some advice, and that's what I want to share with you today. I'm going to share with you 10 tips, 10 things that I've learned, 10 things that I wish I knew when I first started my channel. But I definitely don't want you to think of this as the end all be all. No matter what your YouTube niche that you're going for is, whether it is here in the planning community or if you're trying something completely different, I just want to let you know that this is just my personal experience, but I definitely don't have the knowledge and expertise on how anything I say today fits into like YouTube grand scheme, like the big picture of YouTube, and how that works with the algorithm and whether or not it's going to get you views. I don't know. I'm just going to give you my top 10 pieces of advice, things I wish I knew, things that I've learned over the past 15 months. Okay, number one, which I know I've said before in a number of places, and that's why it's number one, is to stop planning and just start doing. And this concept applies to anything in life. It does not just have to be YouTube, but the more time that you take to plan things out and make sure it's perfect and iron out all the details and think about all the what if scenarios, you're never gonna actually do it. You're never gonna start doing it. And I'm here to tell you that you can spend all the time in the world planning and prepping, but something's gonna go wrong. Something you don't expect, something's going to come up, and you're gonna have to deal with it then. And you're gonna have to figure it out, and you're going to have to go with the flow, and that's okay. That's how you grow, and that's how you learn. But my biggest piece of advice is just to start. Just to start uploading something, film something and upload something. And we'll talk maybe a little bit more nitty gritty about that as we get down the list, but I just wanted to kick it off with that piece of advice. If you are even remotely considering starting a channel, but there's all these things popping up in your head about why you won't or what you still need to plan or buy or figure out before you do it, try to push all those thoughts out and just get a video up. All right, number two, I'm putting this one at the top because most of the tips that I'm going to share with you today are kind of generic, in general things I wish I'd known, things I have learned, but they're not specific. How to film a video, what camera to buy, how to edit, etc., how to change the thumbnail, all of those kinds of things. My tip for you, now this is number two, is to go to the experts. Go to the people that are experts in the YouTube algorithm, that are experts in all the different camera options, that are experts in editing and thumbnails and etc. So I'm gonna give you a laundry list right now of all the people that I recommend that I watch when it comes to this knowledge, vast knowledge that is YouTube. I'm gonna link all of them below as well, so don't feel like you have to jot these down as I say them. Okay, the first one is Amy Landino. I've obviously talked about her before. Definitely recommend her channel. You're going to have to scroll back to find the videos that are about YouTube specifically. More recently, she does more lifestyle and habits and mindset kind of videos and less specific YouTube videos, but she has them. You've just got to scroll back. The other thing from Amy that I recommend is actually her book, Vlog Like a Boss. This book, so helpful. I read it very early on. I have lots, actually, I probably should reread this. I actually didn't feel comfortable. I didn't highlight or write anything in here, but what I did do was I dog-eared all the places, like all the things that I wanted to go back and reference. We're gonna toss that over there so I can reread it. The other ones I'm just gonna quickly run through because there's not any other details that you need about them. So Trina Little, Sunny, I'm not gonna say her last name right, Vanessa Lau, video creators and video influencers. So those 5 channels are all about YouTube and making you a better YouTuber, so go check out their channels. And then the last person I'm gonna throw into this category just for a couple of videos is Cindy. She's part of the planning community. She has a video with her top 10 tips, a lot of which apply specifically to plan with me's, and I agree with everything that she said in that video. I even learned some things in that video, and she's created, I think she said like 700 or 800 videos at this point, so I'll link that specific video down as well. Obviously, that's not what Cindy's channel is about, but that's a great video if you are in the planner community. Okay. Number 3 is something that I wish I'd done at the beginning, and that is tell your friends and family. And I know that can seem a little bit intimidating, a little bit scary, especially if your channel is about something that they may not know a lot about, something that you're like, they're not gonna wanna watch it. I definitely had that thought. I was like, I'm not gonna tell all my brothers about my planning channel because they're not gonna watch it. However, that is your best support system, and they love you and will support you regardless of what the topic is. And what I found out was that my brother, once he did find out about my channel, he subscribed, and when I pop up in his subscription feed, he clicks the video and likes it and then clicks out. Does he watch it? No. He doesn't care. He has no interest in my topic, but he does give me the view and the like and the subscriber. And while I'm not aiming to have a bunch of like fake subscribers that don't actually watch my videos and interact as part of our community, it still means a lot that my brother is supporting my channel the way that he can. And so just tell your friends and family. You never know, because then I ran into somebody, a friend of mine, who when they found out, they were obsessed and they love watching my channels because it does apply to their life. So just don't be afraid to tell your friends and family. Okay, number 4 is to watch other YouTube videos and interact in their comment section. So I watch a lot of YouTube. That's not a secret, and that happened before I started a channel. I watch a lot more YouTube now that I have a channel, but I was never big on interacting before. Before I had a channel, I rarely commented, if ever. I never thumbs up the video. None of that ever really crossed my mind when I was just a viewer. But now when I watch a video, I comment a good chunk of the time. Most of the time I'm watching a YouTuber who asks me a specific question, and I'll go answer that question. But even if they don't ask a question or I don't want to answer their question, I will try to comment, because even if the creator doesn't respond to my comment or doesn't see it because they get so many comments, the community for that creator is going to see it and going to interact and like and respond, and that is invaluable, basically free advertising for your channel because you're commenting as your channel. Now, don't do it ingenuinely, right? Definitely don't go comment and blast and like come check out my channel. That is not cool, okay? Don't do that. But interact, be a part of their community, have a conversation, leave a thoughtful comment that is related to the topic of their video and add value to their community. And in turn, there might be somebody that sees your comment and then clicks on your channel and checks it out. Okay, number 5 is don't do something that you wouldn't want to watch. And there's probably a lot of arguments to be had on the other side of this. It's like, well, I don't care even if I wouldn't want to watch it, my community is okay with it or they want to see it, so I'm gonna do it. I have the mindset of my channel is for someone like me. My channel is for another version of me, a version of me who wants to go after their goals, who wants to use planning and organization to set and achieve those goals, who wants to make time for all of the things in their life that's important to them. That's who I create videos for, is really just another version of me. So if I am watching my channel to help me with goals and planning and organization, I'm not gonna go to my channel for Get Ready With Me. I'm gonna go to a beauty channel for that. Or I don't wanna watch an ad right in the middle of the video. Okay, my time is valuable and I just don't want there to be an ad in the middle of the video. So those are things I don't do on my channel because I don't enjoy watching them. A kind of controversial example might be voiceovers. I don't like watching videos with voiceovers that happened after the video was filmed. Now, it will seem like in some of my videos I do voiceovers, but all I do is splice out the words and speed up the footage underneath those words. But it all happened at the same time. Does that make sense? Like when I'm filming a plan with me and I'm doing something, I'm saying something while I'm doing that. But a lot of the times what I did like in the planner with my visually took more time than it took me to say the words that I'm saying. So all I'll do is speed up what's underneath it, but keep the words. In my head, that's not as much of a voiceover. I'm talking about somebody films an entire plan with me, and then after they're done, they go back and do a voiceover explaining how they do it. Now, some people love that, and that is some people's style. That is just not my style. And because I don't enjoy watching it, I don't create it. So I try to keep that as a rule of thumb when I'm creating videos, is I don't do something that I wouldn't watch, and I would recommend that for anybody starting a channel. Okay, number 6 is to try new things and know when it's okay to pivot, because you never know until you try, right? You never know if somebody is gonna like a video until you try it. And there are videos that I will film that I think, I'm kind of filming this because I'm really excited about the topic and I would be excited to share, and then it blows up and everybody loves it. And then there's topics that are the other way around that I think, oh, they're all gonna love this topic. This video is gonna get so many views, and then it doesn't. And it kind of flops. So, but it's okay. And I learned from all those different experiences, and I try new things and I pivot when I need to, and I add things and take things out. So don't be afraid to try new videos within reason, right? Don't decide that you're gonna be a beauty channel and then tomorrow go film a video about like playing a video game, right? Like within reason, try new things, learn what your community likes and what they don't like, and pivot when you need to. Number 7, you're gonna hear this from any YouTube video ever that you watch ever, is be consistent, okay? Like pick a consistency schedule that works for you and stick with that. If that is once a month, then it's once a month. If that's once a week, great. If that's multiple times a week, also great. Do what works for you and just be consistent with it. And my advice here would be to start small and build up. So it might seem really exciting that you want to do 5 videos a week when you're just starting, and you have all these ideas, and you're like, well, I have so many ideas, of course I'm gonna be able to do 5 videos a week. I'll tell you, it takes a lot longer to film, edit, export, upload, description box, thumbnail, etc. than you think when you first start. So start with something a little bit more manageable, consistently do that for a couple of weeks or even a couple of months, and then add in videos. Now, sometimes you might have to cut back, and that's okay. Just make sure you communicate that with your community, that, hey, I know I was uploading videos this many times and we're gonna cut it back a little bit to this many times. That's okay, as long as you keep that communication open. But don't come out of the gate with 5 videos a week because you're really excited and you have all this content, and then all of a sudden you don't upload for a couple of weeks because you got behind or you went on vacation or whatever it was. Okay, number 8, and this is the only technology advice I'm giving you in this whole video. Your phone has a great camera. I don't care what phone you have. Okay, let me take that back. My mom still carries around an iPhone 6. I don't know what the video quality is like on her iPhone 6, but if you have a reasonably recent phone, you have a good camera on there. Here's the secret. Are you ready for the secret? You have to change the settings. Now, this particular advice, I'm talking specifically about iPhones. If you have a different kind of phone, Google, you probably can do the same, but I'm going to talk about iPhones right now and how you can change the settings on your iPhone, because the truth is there are different video settings for your iPhone, and the auto default setting is a lower quality because they assume the videos you take of your kids or your pets, if you're me, you don't need that to be in super high quality. So they have it at a lower setting. So if you go into settings and you scroll down and you go to camera and you go to record video, you're gonna see all these different options. I currently have mine set at the 4K at 60 FPS because I used to record on my phone and I needed it to be the highest quality. That's the quality I would recommend. However, know that it's going to take up a lot of space on your phone. So you've got to have a lot of space prepared on your phone, or you need to make sure that you get that footage off as quickly as possible, because recording at 4K, it takes up a lot of space, trust me, but it's worth it, and your phone has great quality. Now, remember, that's the back camera. So when you're filming like this, if you set it up so that it's the back camera, so it's the best quality, you're not going to be able to see yourself, and that's just something that you're going to have to deal with. I have seen people finagle their way around that, either by propping up a mirror behind it so that way you could still see yourself without like using the back camera of your phone. I saw somebody one time, this was actually an old video of Amy Landino's, where she somehow projected her phone to her TV screen and then was filming herself like this, but she could see herself on the TV behind it. Isn't that crazy? I just didn't see myself. Honestly, it took me a little bit to set it up, right? And because I'd have to press record, run around, sit in the chair, make sure that the angles were all right, adjust it if I needed to, get up, check it. If it was wrong, I had to fix it and do it again. I had to do that like sometimes 3 or 4 times until I got the angle right. And then I would sit and record and I couldn't see myself, but it worked. Until you are in a place financially and mentally to upgrade to a camera, your phone is great quality. Number 9, I guess this is also sort of a technical piece of advice. Editing doesn't have to be that complicated at the beginning, okay? There are so many videos that are so impressive, and even I watch videos now that I'm like, oh, that would be cool, I should do that. Like, let me tell you one of them, sound effects when something pops up on the screen. So when I have like an Instagram handle pop up or a picture pop up, other channels will have a sound effect when that happens. I'm always like, I should do that. I want to do that. And I probably could figure it out. I haven't made the time. It is all about time prioritization, and that hasn't been a priority for me. Now, have my editing skills and my editing style gotten a little bit more complicated over the past year? Yes, I have definitely improved at my editing skills, and I have made things maybe slightly more complicated than they were back when I first started editing. It took me a long time to figure out that voice to speed thing. I would always just stop talking when I would speed things up and add music. And now I hardly ever add music to my Plan With Me's because I always have myself saying something while it's sped up. I do recommend some sort of editing. I mean, you can upload without editing, that's fine, but you're probably gonna mess up. Whether you're filming a front-facing video or a top-down video, you're probably gonna mess up, and there are gonna be little things here and there that you wanna cut out. But truthfully, that's where I would start. I would start by just cutting out the ums and ahs, or when you mess things up. I wouldn't try to do anything else super fancy when you first start. I also wouldn't pay for editing software. So most computers come with free editing software. If it's a Mac, it's iMovie, and if it's a Windows computer, it's Windows Movie Maker. There's also an Adobe online version. There's also editing software within YouTube. Now, for certain videos, if you have a lot of footage, to wait for all that to upload before you can edit, it's kind of annoying, but it's free. And it's an option if you are just getting started and you are only doing simple editing things. Okay, number 10, and this one is sort of silly, but it is something that I did not learn early on, and it shows. And that is to pause for the thumbnail. Now, for some of you, you're probably like, well, duh, like, and how else would I get a picture with the same background that I can use for my thumbnail? Okay, I get it. It seems really obvious. But when I first started filming front-facing videos like this doesn't really apply to top-down videos, but front-facing videos, if you don't make an effort to pause and smile in a pose to capture for the thumbnail, you're gonna have a really hard time finding a good thumbnail because you're talking the whole time. So you're making weird faces, and every time I tried to capture like a good thumbnail, I looked ridiculous. If you go back and look at some of my early thumbnails, it's not cute because I never stopped and smiled for the thumbnail. Sometimes I would remember afterwards. That was something I wish I had like taped it to my phone. Every time you sit down to film, make sure you pause and you smile, you make a pose, you make a couple poses. Now I know, so I will make multiple poses. I'll go this way, I'll go that way, I'll tilt my head a couple different ways. That way when I'm in the footage, I can pick which one looks the best. But when I first did it, I never paused. And so I would have to try and find a moment that I looked straight at the camera and wasn't talking. It was really hard. So, okay, that's it. Those are my top 10, whatever you want to call them, tips, advice, things I wish I had known. I just wanted to share a couple of my thoughts, and because I get that question a lot, all the equipment that I use is always linked in the description box under my Amazon store because that's where everything comes from. My camera, my stand, my tripod, my lights, all that is from Amazon. So I always have that linked below. And I'm just gonna say it again, but my biggest piece of advice is just to go to the experts. They know so much more about what it takes to create a YouTube video, to create a quality YouTube video, to grow a community, to build a platform, to build a brand, way more than somebody who just creates video. They do research, they test things out. So I highly recommend that you check out some of those channels I mentioned, which I will link in the description box below. If you liked this video though, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Happy planning. I don't know that I've ever filmed an actual video with my hair in a ponytail, but it just wasn't gonna look good today. This advice that I'm going to give, it's not advice, let's not call it that. Okay, I keep messing this one up. trying to think of a good example here. I don't really have one. Okay, the next one, what channel? Oh, no. Now, have. You have a Mac, it's Windows. That is wrong.